This might look like the same sort of neighbourhood that you might live. No great big houses, no multi-acre gardens, just a normal working class town. You would also probably think this is just an ordinary street. But it's not. On this street is a house that holds a chillingly dark past.
I lived next door to him for 10 years. I never suspected a thing. He was always so kind to me and my children. He would do anything to help. I couldn't believe it when he died. And it all came out of what he had done and for how long. Nobody knew. It was a genuine shock.
Johnny Nash was one of Yorkshire's most known notorious mass murderers. Over 5 years he murdered 15 women and hid their remains in the basement of his house. As the women were sex workers, it is believed he would exploit them sexually before murdering them by what autopsies believe was by strangulation and stabbing. If it was not for his sudden death by natural causes, the discovery might not have been made, and he may have continued this reign of terror today. 3 years after the discovery of serial killer Johnny Nash and his victims in this house, the basement in which he stored them was cemented in, and the house was refurbished ready for a new owner. That new owner experienced paranormal goings-on and left, leaving the house empty ever since. It has now been over 10 years since the death of Nash and the discovery of his secret. In tonight's episode, we intend on investigating the apparent paranormal goings-on that have been regularly reported here, and are going to attempt to contact the serial killer himself from beyond the grave. To find out more, I've enlisted the help of parapsychologist Graham Curtis to help with our investigation. So Graham,
Hi.
what exactly is a parapsychologist?
Well, a parapsychologist is someone who studies the paranormal and psychic phenomenon.
And how long have you been studying this?
Well, it was the story of when I was a child. I saw a man at the bottom of my bed, and when my parents came in for me screaming, there was no one there. So that led me into my hobby throughout my teenage years. I went to university, and then obviously it came my career.
Fascinating. And so tell me, what have you been doing today?
Well, today I've been rigging the house with little cameras, just seeing what they pick up, and we've actually got some really interesting results already. So this was the living room earlier today. What I did is I put some ping pong balls on the floor in a circle. Now this is called a trigger object test, and as you can see from the footage, they've been moving about on their own.
But surely that could just have been a draft, couldn't it?
Well, I checked the windows and doors before I did the test, and there was no sign of any draft. I also checked for any crevices in the wall as well, so I'm fairly certain that this was not draft caused.
Spooky. And it's worth mentioning that it was in fact the living room that Johnny Nash died in, wasn't it?
It was, yes. He died in his armchair in the corner, which we believe is over there. The autopsy says that he died of natural causes.
And this isn't the only thing you've caught on camera today.
Indeed not. I caught this in the kitchen, and as you can see here, the door is opening and closing on its own.
Wow. Now that's just giving me goosebumps.
Mm-hmm.
So there's certainly some kind of paranormal activity in this house.
Oh, I'd definitely say that this house is worthy of a paranormal investigation. There's certainly a story here.
This house certainly holds a history of murder and many stories of unusual, unexplainable occurrences. With what we have caught on tape, it is unquestionable that we have enough evidence to open a real paranormal investigation. Armed with our night vision cameras and in the absence of our film crew, myself and Graham alone returned to the living room, where we earlier conducted a trigger object test that proved that there was some paranormal activity. So Graham, how are we feeling at the moment?
Well, naturally, we're in a house that has quite a sinister past in the early hours of the morning, completely on our own, so I'm feeling a little off, yeah.
And it is quite cold as well, isn't it?
For a summer night, yeah, definitely, but then that could be because there's a negative entity presence.
So, what is it that we are doing? What is the plan to contact the paranormal?
Well, what we're going to do is simply just sit here in silence and call out to any presence, ask them to make a noise or make something move perhaps. As you can see here, I put some ping pong balls down on the table so we can do another trigger object test.
Right.
Okay, so let's begin. If there's anyone here in this room, if there's a presence, Please can you make yourself known by making something move or making a sound, just to show us that you're willing to communicate with us.
Is there anyone there? Can you make yourself known? Can you do that again?
Can you make a noise? Can you tap on the table?
Who are you? That's coming from another room. Can you hear that?
Then we should go to the room where it's coming from then.
Listen. Is that upstairs? Is there someone there?
It's the kitchen, I think that's coming from.
It's coming from in there. This is where the door to the basement was, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it's just a pantry now. The basement was cemented in.
It's like someone's walking up a flight of stairs.
Put your camera close to the door to pick up the sound.
Oh my god.
Is there someone in there?
Oh my god. What's just happened? I'm not sure I like this.
Okay, so you're clearly wanting to communicate with us. By moving the planchette, please can you tell us your name?
I can't do this, I can't do this.
You can. Just remember why you're here and what we're doing, okay? Put your hand back on the board. Who are you?
Joan.
Were you killed by Johnny Joan? Are the other women still here, Joan?
Is Johnny still here? Can you tell us where he is, Joan? Is he in the room with us?
What's wrong?
Something just touched the back of my neck.
Are you sure? Oh my god.
What is it?
You've got like a rope burn on the back of your neck.
Are you actually serious?
Can you feel anything?
No. I mean, it just sort of tingles a bit. Ah, Graham! Ah! Graham? 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 Graham, is that you? For the camera, I can't smell any fire or anything. It just seems to be some sort of steam. I don't know what's going on. I'm scared and I just want to get out of here. Graham, is that you? Graham? I'm not scared. Stop it! This house is freaky as shit. Graham, are you in here? What is going on?